Late on this video, I know, man, like really late. Am I as late as I am for Long Halloween part 2? I don't know, probably not. But I just saw Val, and it's pretty impactful, and I have to talk about it, because I want to talk about it. And that's the fun of doing things like this. You get to talk about what you want to talk about sometimes. Sometimes talking movies is just work. This is not one of those times, let's do it. So Val is a peek into the life and career of Val Kilmer. Not really a documentary, not a biopic, but an introspective peek into his life from his perspective using stock footage that he's had. Because you ever think to yourself, like, man, it'd be so awesome if you can chronicle someone's life with a video camera. No, we don't do that now. We do social media posts or vlogs, and it's a little different. People make social media posts or videos, or they do vlogs, but they're really polished, you know? They have polished editing. It lacks that grit. It lacks the imperfection that is the realism of life. But Val Kilmer was one of those people throughout his life and career. He had a camcorder. He would talk to the camcorder, give his thoughts. He would talk to his castmates. And on one hand, absolutely, it is cool to be like, oh, whoa, that's Kevin Bacon. And they're just hanging out and talking and chilling. You have that connection where you can recognize, you're like, oh, that's from Ghost in the Darkness. Oh, wow, that's from Heat. It's very honest in that respect. It's Val Kilmer's life as seen by Val Kilmer. And I appreciate that kind of honesty. It's not like, you know, you've seen him, right? Those documentaries that are like, this is a documentary and it's objective. It's like, nah, it's kind of a propaganda piece based on your perspective and your opinion. And the reason I love this peek into Val Kilmer's life is because it's a peek you never really get to see. It used to be that, oh, no matter who the famous person is, you don't really know their personal lives. While that maintains to be true, no matter who the person is, people on your social media, whoever they are, and the posts they make, you still don't really know their personal lives. They put their best witty post forward, but it's really not the grit of them. And in many ways, this movie isn't always that either, but there is an honesty to it when he talks about, hey, I'm going through my divorce. And he talks about Batman, you know, like he was like, oh, I jumped at the opportunity to be Batman. Because every little boy wants to be Batman. And then he's like, every boy wants to be Batman, but they don't necessarily want to play Batman in a movie. Because Val Kilmer was the dude, he liked experiencing characters. He liked putting a piece of him in the character, getting a little piece back. He liked using acting as a form of evolution, you know? It's like Katamari Damacy, you know? It's like he would like to roll over a character and annex that into a piece of him until he just became larger and larger, you know, spiritually speaking. He was like, Batman, I was just in the rubber suit, and Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones were really putting a lot of them into it, and they were making the characters larger than life, and he was like, I just had to stand there, and he felt like a prop. That's interesting to me. That's fascinating, because you're like, dude, why would you not want to be Batman? That's a pretty good reason to not want to be Batman in a movie. It gives a good, honest insight into the perspective of why do people pick certain roles, like the movie The Saints. Like, why The Saints? Why that movie? Not saying it's good or bad, I'm just, why this? What made him go, yeah, I want to do that one? He gives a good reason as to why he wanted to do that one, because he was like, it's like 20 roles in one. I got to do a bunch of different personalities and people. That's awesome. Sometimes the roles actors pick, it's as simple as that. It's just something they wanted to do because they felt like it would benefit them. I mean, there's benefit and then there's benefit. It's also a peak that not a lot of people talk about, which is that element of the entertainment industry, where he was talking about in one of his, I guess they're vlogs, journal entries, talking to the camera before they were called vlogs. He was talking about how studios literally own you. They own a piece of your soul for the duration of the filming of this movie. And it's got to be a dehumanizing feeling. Which is another thing I liked about the movie. It puts the person, the human being first, and the career second. Now, Val Kilmer in his current situation, he's survived cancer. He has a stoma in his throat. It's very hard for him to talk, and when he does talk, it's very hard to understand what he's saying.
5, 2, 6, the world, I don't want to survive.
So the movie, though it sounds like it's narrated by Val Kilmer, it's narrated by his son, and it shows his son narrating the picture, you know? It shows him being the narrator. It doesn't even hide it at all.
My name is Val Kilmer. I'm an actor.
It's like the last narration his son has. It shows he and Val Kilmer hugging, and it clicked with me, the connection of this movie being between a father and son. In the end, I really loved and appreciated this peek into Val Kilmer's life. I love the fact that he was just one of those people who were like, I'm gonna have a camcorder and chronicle my life, because maybe one day people will want that. I haven't met a person who watched this movie and didn't go, It was really sad. I mean, it is sad, touching. It's very heartfelt. It's very touching. In a world of ever-growing dehumanization with our fellow human beings as we interact online, I appreciate the fact that this movie, though editing is always a thing in a picture like this, I appreciate the fact that it did its best to eliminate the filters and just give you something real. It's an experience that is introspective in itself and in turn forces you to be introspective in the healthiest way possible. What to rate this thing? How do you even rate a life experience? I don't know. You know what? Here you go. I personally, for the emotional resonance it had with me, I say Val is awesome-tacular. Because I felt it. I felt the cries. I felt the emotional heartache of people like, has he given any of those this year? There you go. I'm here to help you with your pain. But all right, Val, it's on Amazon Prime right now. Absolutely go check it out. You'll be glad you did, even if you just watch it once. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.